APA 7th Referencing and Paraphrasing. Tips and tricks for succeeding. My name is Steph Bennett, I'm a learning development tutor and I'm here to help you today. Today's aims: to develop knowledge of in-text citations, reference lists and paraphrasing in preparation for upcoming submissions. We will look at in-text citations, both bracketed and integrated, referencing, the Academic Integrity Guide, and paraphrasing, a step-by-step guide. Integrity, misconduct, plagiarism. Understanding academic integrity. So you might be thinking, what is academic integrity? It's the system of values we ascribe to in the academic community. What is academic misconduct? Any action that goes against our values or academic integrity. And finally, what is plagiarism? Passing off your own or another's work as original. Passing off your own work is known as self-plagiarism. APA 7th Referencing. Referencing is an umbrella term and it features two components: in-text citations and references. It guards you against plagiarism by giving credit where credit is due to the authors whose ideas you have used in your assignment. It helps to distinguish between your academic voice and the contributions of literature. It helps to develop and support your arguments, show your assessor you've done the research, and it helps to tell your reader where to find the sources you've used. In-text citations. Citations typically include three parts: the surname of the author whose ideas you've used, or the corporate author name, the year the source was published, and a page number from which the information has been drawn. Citations appear in the text itself inside your actual assignment. And there are two types: bracketed and integrated, and we will look at both of those versions now. Citations for direct quotes that come from a single page. So when you read a source and you look at a certain quote and think that might be quite nice to use in my assignment, here's how you would go about citing it. Here is a bracketed citation, and it's called that because the citation sits at the end of the sentence with the information inside the bracket. The direct quote here has been placed in single quote marks. Let's have a read. It might be suggested that when it comes to profitability, here's the direct quote, we have to trust the record company's own calculations. Brackets, Osborne, comma, 2021, comma, P full stop, space, 62, close brackets, full stop. Let's look at an integrated citation. Here you can see the author's surname has been included in the sentence, swiftly followed by the date in brackets. We have the direct quote in single quote marks, and at the end of the sentence, sandwiching everything in, is the page number in a bracket. Let's have a read. Osborne, brackets, 2021, close brackets, has suggested that when it comes to profitability, here's the direct quote, we have to trust the record company's own calculations. Brackets, P full stop, space, 62, close brackets, full stop. So here it is clear to see the difference between a bracketed citation and an integrated citation. You don't need to use both a bracketed and an integrated when writing a sentence. Choose one or the other. Citations for direct quotes that run over 2 pages. So again, you might be reading and thinking, this is quite a nice quote that I'd like to use, except it starts at the bottom of one page and finishes on the next page. So how would you cite that? Let's have a look. Here is a bracketed citation. You can see the citation is in brackets at the end of the sentence. The direct quote is in single quote marks. The difference here is in the page numbers. You can see we have 2 page numbers, 64-65, and to indicate that we have PP full stop. Let's have a read. It has been suggested the fundamental point for examination, here's the direct quote, was no longer what happened once a record was in the market, but the system of prioritisation that had taken place before it was released. Brackets, Osborne, comma, 2021, comma, PP full stop, space, 64-65, close brackets, full stop. And an integrated citation. Same approach as the slide prior. We start with the author's surname, followed by the year in brackets, and at the very end of the sentence, after the direct quote in single quote marks, we can see the page numbers in a bracket. Let's have a read. Osborne, brackets 2021, close brackets, suggests the fundamental point for examination, here's the direct quote, was no longer what happened once a record was in the market, but the system of prioritisation that had taken place before it was released. Brackets, PP full stop, space, 64-65, close brackets, full stop. Some exceptions to the rule. Websites don't have page numbers, so if you come across something that looks like this is not actually a website. This is a journal article. So we need to click PDF to locate the page numbers. And here you can see the page numbers. So here's an example of a bracketed citation for an actual website, a website called the Chartered Management Institute. You can see in this bracketed citation we have the full corporate author name, followed by square brackets with an abbreviation inside. Write the phrase in full the first time you mention it, followed by the abbreviation. And from that point onwards, you can just use the abbreviation. This will save you word count in the long run. Again, the direct quote here is in single quote marks, and you can actually see there is no page number because this is a website. It has been suggested, here is the direct quote, the key components of management and leadership style are attitudes and behaviours. Brackets, Chartered Management Institute, square brackets, CMI, close square brackets, comma, 2020, close brackets, full stop. And the integrated citation, Chartered Management Institute, brackets, CMI, close brackets, 2020, close brackets, have suggested, here's the direct quote, the key components of management and leadership style are attitudes and behaviours. Again, no page number because this has come from a website. Also, if you paraphrase an idea from across more than one page of text, maybe you're summarising an entire chapter or summarising a theme from 3 or 4 pages you've read. This also does not require page numbers. Let's have a look at an example. A bracketed citation. You can see the bracket at the end with the author and year, no page number. Chapter 7 of the Good Research Guide reviews key characteristics of case study research and emphasises the importance of defining the case. Brackets, Denscombe, comma, 2021, close brackets, full stop. And the integrated citation. Denscombe, brackets, 2021, close brackets, reviews the key characteristics of case study research and emphasises the importance of defining the case. No page numbers needed here. We're going to do a little bit more on paraphrasing in just a moment. So let's do a quick quiz to wrap up where we are so far. Question 1. What are the 3 typical parts of an in-text citation? What are the 2 types of in-text citation? What's included in an in-text citation if you use a website? What happens if you use a direct quote that runs over 2 pages? And finally, if you paraphrase from a single page of text, do you include a page number or not? This is kind of a trick question. Some extra bits that you might want to know. If there are 2 authors, for a bracketed citation, you use an ampersand to separate the authors' surnames. If you integrate the citation, you use an and, not an ampersand. And if there are 3 or more authors, it automatically becomes et al. Full stop. In a bracket, et al. Full stop will be followed by a comma. Outside of a bracket in an integrated citation, it will just be et al. Full stop. References. There are typically 5 components of a reference: the author, the year, the title of the piece you're reading, the publisher, and a link to the source online. Although, if you're reading a hard copy, this is an exception to the rule. References appear at the end of your text, in a reference list at the end of your assignment, and authors are placed in alphabetical order, from A to Z. And there are many types of reference styles for each type of source that you use, so each one will look slightly different. For example, if you're going to be using the Chartered Management Institute website page on leadership styles, we've just had a look at a quote from there. Here's what it might look like in the reference list. Chartered Management Institute, full stop. That is the corporate author. Brackets, 2020, close brackets, full stop. That is the year the piece you've read was published. Followed by the title of the thing that you've read online, in sentence case and italics, management and leadership styles, followed by the link to the source. If the publisher is the same as the author, you omit the publisher. In this instance, Chartered Management Institute is the author and the publisher, so we omit them as the publisher to avoid repetition. When referencing an online book, otherwise known as an e-book, we have 2 authors here separated by an ampersand. We use ampersands in reference lists. We have the year the source was published in brackets. We have the title here in sentence case and italics. And because it is the 6th edition of the book, we write brackets 6th, ed, full stop, close brackets, next to the title, but not in italics. We have the publisher name here, which is Wiley, and we have a link to the book online. For an online journal, it again looks slightly different to a book and a website. We start with the authors. We have several authors here, And before the last one, we've got the ampersand. You can see after every set of initials, there is a comma before the next author surname. We have the year in brackets. We have the journal article title in sentence case and non-italic type. Then the journal title, International Journal of Healthcare Management, and the volume 10 are both in italics. The issue 1 is in brackets and flush with the volume. Then we have the page range of the article, where the article starts, where the article ends, 49-56, followed by a DOI link. A DOI link is a stable link to the journal online. And really importantly, when you cannot tell what source you've got, you can use a Franken reference. This means sensibly piecing together a reference so the reader knows where you've taken the information from. For example, this is Porter's 5 Forces. And when you look at the document, it's a little bit unclear as to what it is, whether it's a website article or a journal article of some sorts. So this is how it's been pieced together. We have the author, followed by the year the piece was published in brackets, followed by a title of the source, followed by the host, which looks to be the publisher, Harvard Business Review, and a link to that source online. And here is what a reference list would look like. These are all different types of sources, and they're all in alphabetical order, from Buckley to Vise. You can pause the video and have a look. And let's do a quick quiz. Using the prior example we looked at for an online journal, can you now reference this source? Pause the video on this screen because all the information you need is here. And how about this ebook? I'll scroll slowly through a few pages so you can write the necessary information down. And that should be just about enough to give you a clue. Did you get it right? The first one, Clunan, M, full stop, brackets, 2016, close brackets, full stop. The journal article title in non-italic type and sentence case is Negotiating Needle Time, the Musicians' Union, the BBC and the record companies, circa 1920 to 1990, full stop. The journal title and volume in italics are Social History, 41. The issue in non-italic type and brackets flush with the volume is brackets 4, close brackets, comma. The page range is 353-374, full stop, and the DOI link is here. And there you have your journal article reference. Now let's look at the answer to the ebook. We had slightly more authors on this one. Hull, G full stop, P full stop, comma. Hutchinson, T full stop, comma. Ampersand, Strasser, R full stop. Brackets, 2011, close brackets, full stop. The title of the ebook in sentence case and italics is The Music Business and Recording Industry, Delivering Music in the 21st Century. Brackets, third, ED full stop, close brackets, full stop. That's the edition in non-italic type. Followed by the publisher, Routledge, full stop, and a link to the ebook online. I hope you got both of those right. Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is about putting the words of another into your own words, but still citing and referencing those authors. And there's no quick fix. You can begin by changing words. If you have the word students, you can change it to learners. You can change word forms. If you have the word success, change it to successful. And then you can begin to change the sentence around these new words. There are 5 steps. Read the original, cover it up, write your version from what you remember, uncover the original, and compare and contrast. Did you capture the heart of what was said? Is it too similar? If it's too similar, begin the process again. Here are some tips. Scribber does a really great do's and don'ts of paraphrasing here. To change the words in your sentences, right-click Synonyms on Microsoft Word and then click Thesaurus for more options. And most importantly, keep practicing. Trait theory is kind of flawed because we're not born with the inherent or innate ability to paraphrase really effectively. It really is a matter of practice makes perfect. Citing paraphrasing. Here is an example of a paraphrase with a bracketed citation and an integrated citation. Some scholars have argued that case studies are especially suitable for small-scale social research projects. Brackets, Denscombe, comma, 2010, comma, P full stop, space, 52, close brackets, full stop. There is a page number here because this person has paraphrased from a single page of text. Let's have a look at the integrated. Denscombe, brackets, 2010, close brackets, suggests that case studies are especially suitable for small-scale social research projects. Brackets, P full stop, space, 52, close brackets, full stop. And here we've got the example that we looked at earlier on. Paraphrasing from multiple pages of text, which doesn't require page numbers. Chapter 7 of the Good Research Guide reviews the key characteristics of case study research and emphasises the importance of defining the case. Brackets, Denscombe, comma, 2021, close brackets, full stop. Denscombe, brackets, 2021, reviews the key characteristics of case study research and emphasises the importance of defining the case, full stop. So here we have the bracketed citation and the integrated citation, one after another. Can you have a go at paraphrasing this? It's been taken from the CMI website. Pause the video. How do you think you did? Here's my version. Approaches to leadership and management ensure operations within an organisation are supervised, thus driving progress towards desired results. Brackets, Chartered Management Institute, square brackets, CMI, close square brackets, comma, 2020, close brackets, full stop. Typically, these roles foster organisational structure and interpersonal connections with employees. Brackets, CMI, comma, 2020, close brackets, full stop. You can see each time the source has been used, there is a citation in each of those sentences, and this is something that you must do. Every time you refer to a source, whether you've referred to it before or not, it must be cited. You can also say I've used the abbreviation the first time around in the square brackets, and from that point onwards I can then just use the abbreviation CMI, and this helps me to save my word count. Moving forward then, ensure you proofread and edit before you submit your work. This will allow you to check your in-text citations and your reference lists. Use your academic integrity guide. Read through it, locate the necessary pages to help you cite and reference the sources you need. And you can also access the Academic Integrity Guide playlist on our YouTube, and I will leave the link to that just at the bottom.